Twister is one of the best builds I've seen so far in 0.2, and this is the second video I'm making after getting some better gear, and also the build's been nerfed, and also oddly enough buffed, but mostly nerfed. There was a really big bug. It's now patched. Still very good build. Damage is much lower because it was kind of absurd before, but I still frequently will hit for like over 1 million damage on a boss in certain scenarios. So it is definitely still really good. Overall, the damage of the build is very good, but there is a catch. It takes 5 button presses to do your max damage correctly, but it's actually not too bad. 3 of the casts are just your rolling slash, so you just hold down right click, then you press barrage, and then you press twister. It's not as bad as it sounds. It is very bursty damage, and by bursty I mean like oftentimes my twisters will just miss the boss and they don't do much damage until they line up correctly on a cast, and then they will obliterate the entire HP bar. So that can be kind of frustrating for some people. Personally, I don't really mind it, but sometimes you're like, God damn, dude, just hit the boss. And your damage is also contingent on how big the boss arena is. The smaller the arena, the more bounces you'll get, and thus more damage out of your twisters. Similar to Spark. This is why this build scales prod speed and skill duration. The defense is low. You get pretty much none from the Ascendancy on Amazon, so early on you're going to be purely relying on evasion with like 2k HP, which if you're res capped honestly is like okay, you're going to die every now and then, but it shouldn't be incredibly frustrating. And then you'll transition to an energy shield, evasion, hybrid, base defense. That should be pretty solid. You should not die very often. Very rarely you'll die. So it's probably not good enough for something like hardcore, but it should be good enough to not constantly dying in softcore. I'm still looking into further optimizations. So I'll probably end up putting 1 or 2 more videos out with these updates as I find and experiment more. So here's my current setup that I just cleared that map with. My gear is pretty good at this point. I probably have spent around 3 div in total, which was around 120 exalts. So the weapon doesn't really need to be a fizz weapon. It can be just any elemental, but ideally you still get the double fizz because it scales better. And then maybe a lightning roll. The accuracy is quite good because of this node. Then the plus skill level is good. And then all my gear for armor is basically life, energy, shield, and resistance. Other than the boots are Wake of Destruction, and these are for the shocked ground, and the flat damage to attack is nice too, but the lightning damage on the ground makes it so your twisters automatically get an element and removes a button you have to press. Normally you have to press like Frostbolt or something to make them cold, but this removes a button, and you can just do it. And then unique shield like cost today. Accuracy rating is doubled, and this character scales a lot of critical chance from accuracy due to this node. And you can see here, looking at the critical chance, if I unequip it, it goes way down. An alternative to this, because it is a little expensive now, I think it might be around 2 div. I originally got it for like 20x a couple days ago, like maybe a day or 2 ago, but it has gone up. So if you can't afford that, an alternative is Arvel's Wheel, and you will have to get like cannibalism for your on one of your auras. Let me show you this, just to offset that lose life on kill, or you can get a jewel with gain life on kill, so you don't just like die when you clear a pack, right? And then the reason this is good is the skill effect duration. This skill is essentially a Spark but with more steps. You shoot it out and then they bounce around and they can hit an enemy multiple times. It does like kind of have a cooldown here. You can see tornado twisters fired at the same time, hit the same target no more than once every 0.66 seconds. I think this only applies, rather, I don't think this applies to like all your things with barrage. Like watch, you shoot them all out with barrage. I think it actually counts as 3 separate casts there, or 2, or however many barrage stacks you get, because you can get frenzy charges with barrage. That'll make it shoot more times. And I don't think it all counts as shot at the same time, unless it does. It's hard to tell, but it does not seem like it does, which is good. Good for the build. And then I'll go over my skill gems here. Don't worry about that. So Whirling Slash, I have Martial Tempo, Lacerate, Blood in the Eyes, Enrage. So the Lacerate, this is not a bleed build, but the reason I have Lacerate is because Blood in the Eyes, it does Hobble equal to 15% of Fizz hit damage dealt by supported skill against bleeding enemies. What Hobble does is it basically will lower the enemy's evasion, and that gives you more damage on this build because it gives you more accuracy essentially, which increases your crit chance. And then if I was to get a 6th link here, I would do Font of Rage. Combat Frenzy, this is for gaining your charges. It really only happens while mapping. Probably swap it out for something else while bossing. But it gives you frenzy charges, and then as you see here on Barrage, consumes your frenzy charges on use to add additional repeats. So it'll repeat your twisters more time, which is more damage. And then Sniper's Mark. This is mainly, I mean, it gives you a little bit of damage on their next hit, but not super relevant. It's more for the granting you a frenzy charge. And I haven't linked with Overabundance, but I don't actually really even use that, so just take that off. Twister, this stupid cat. Twister, we got Salvo. I don't know if you can hear that. Sorry if you can. Salvo, basically, this is like kind of like Unleash, but for attack skills. It gives you seals, and then it'll shoot more. You can see the number build up here. Primal Armament for more weapon elemental damage. Persistence for more skill effect. Retreat for more prod damage if you hit a melee hit. You're pretty much always hitting a melee hit because this is a melee hit, and you need to do this for more barrages or more twisters. And then Electrocute. This is for mapping only to get Combat Frenzy charges here from this. So on your bossing, you'd swap this out for something else. Probably like Acceleration for projectile speed. Then I have Ghost Dance because hybrid energy shield, evasion, and then I have a decent amount of energy shield. And on hit, it will give you some more energy shield. Rake is for moving. So I've been using it for like an animation cancel. With the Raised Shield, it's not that good. I mean, it's okay. With Parry, it's in a buckler, it's really good, but this build won't really use a parry buckler. There might be one that's good, but I think this shield is just too good. And basically, I use it for movement. It's a really good movement skill. You can animation cancel it. It's a little tricky until you get it. It's a weird timing. But you just hold down Rake, and then you get the timing on Raised Shield, and it's a little bit faster than walking, especially because these boots don't have great movement speed. They only have 10%. And when there's enemies on screen, if even there's like an enemy at this like pot and use Rake, it will like, you'll dash all the way to it. It's really nice for clearing. And then Barrage makes you shoot more twisters. Linked with Premeditation, Ingenuity, and Twofold. And then Herald of Thunder. Deadly Herald, Long Shot, and Innervate. You might need to drop Deadly Herald if you don't have the Spirit. But getting the Spirit on like your amulet is nice. And then I anointed True Strike, but there's probably something better. This is just what I had for oils or instilled emotions. Yeah. And then just make sure you're trying to get res capped. It's pretty hard to get like full res capped. I mean, at least like 40 to 50 chaos is probably gonna be mostly okay. I can do maps with like 1 damage mod without really dying. Above 1 damage mod is kind of scuffed right now. The build's like not tanky. I mean, there's really no tanky on the tree or anything. I mean, there's this, but Leech doesn't seem very good, especially when you can't get that much life. So ideally, I'm going to go more energy shield based, and when that happens, I'll probably make another video update and update the build guide. Here's the tree. So for Ascendancy Order, I'd go Predatory Instinct, Critical Strike, Penetrate, and then honestly this node, I don't really like this node. I don't know. It is only when like, so you have like the enemy's bar and you see like these weird segments on it. That's what open weakness is. And this only applies when you're actually on that small bar on the HP bar. So I'm not a huge fan. I might try Elemental Infusion. I haven't got my 4th lab yet though. So I might try that. Otherwise, I don't really know. It might be might try Mystic Harvest for something, but I don't know. And I might look into more ways to get charges. There's probably a better way to get Frenzy charges for like single target, so I'll probably look into that, and if that happens, then I'll definitely take Infusion. So the tree here is mostly like crit damage and accuracy rating. Some get the spear nodes, and then it's pretty much all accuracy stuff, and then crit damage and crit chance, evasion rating. These nodes, companion. I'm not currently using a companion, but there is definitely scenarios where you want to. I just haven't found a beast that's good enough for me to use yet. Well, I was using him, and then I just swapped because I wanted more defense with like Ghost Dance. So I'm gonna end up getting rid of these nodes, but you'll take these on a case-by-case basis if you want to like spend the time to get a good beast. I'll write a little bit more about that in the ring guide. Make sure you check that. I can't go acrobatics yet until I have more energy shield. You don't really want to click acrobatics until you can get at least like 60% evasion with it, maybe a little bit more. And then I'll end up like pathing up here for more energy shield stuff. But for now, that is the tree and the gear and stuff. For Venom drafts, I took Chaos Res and Elemental Ailment Threshold. Is there anything else? I think that might be about it. Make sure you check the written guide in case I missed anything. Yeah, I think that's it.